Alright, hello everyone, welcome to another replay review. This one is going to be for the illustrious, the famed Jgushi. Our good pal Jgushi, meme lord, subreddit runner, a man of many hats, I suppose we'll say. So, this is going to be a Dazzle game, a Dazzle support game, obviously. Yeah, Dazzle support game, not going to be one of these weird Dazzleman games. Let's talk about this team. Since this is a Dotp stack, this is Noctua, aka Hada Mara, Hada Yada, Mara, or just Hada. Jekyll, Gushi, of course, Flub, and AG47. So, if you are in the Dotp community, you probably know most, if not all, of these people. And, of course, we're going to focus in on Gushi, because he paid for it. All right, so let's get to it right now. So, starting items. Actually, let's start from the get-go. Team-wise, so Dazzle, good pick in general. I think not a. Let's see how to put this. He's very rarely is Dazzle a bad pick. I'll say. He has some games, of course, where he excels, but he's a pretty safe, decent pick in a lot of cases. In this game, honestly, it's not the best pick just because we have two supports and neither of them have stuns. We have no stuns on literally any of our heroes. So that's something that, it's always a concern, right? If you're playing a game and you say, okay, what does our team do? What does our team not do? Our team does not stun. Turns out stuns are pretty good. So that's already, I don't know if this is a win or loss because I wanted to just get right into it naturally, but this is a clear issue. The only stun we have is a mini stun from Poison Touch after it's level 3, right? So that's going to be an issue, turns out. But Dazzle LC is quite good. Dazzle Lifesteal is also decent. The thing about Dazzle is generally you see him picked with a tanky 4, like a Spirit Breaker, or an Earth Spirit, or even an Ogre Magi, stuff that can either buff up your team, because Dazzle is really good at those sieging strats. If you have like Ogre, Dazzle, and then you have like an Invoker and a Sven and like a Centaur, let's say, then you have a really good sieging team. He's also good at that saving team, so you can have an aggressive hero like a Lifesteal. He can put himself in those aggressive positions, and then the Dazzle just save him with a Shallow Grave or support him with all that armor, all the minus armor in the enemies. Another big reason why you like having Lifestealer paired with Dazzle. And of course, slows are quite good. Slows are quite good, especially in the early game. So Dazzle is a very effective zoner in the early game. He's a good hero, honestly. I really like Dazzle. I used to play him a lot more. Honestly, I've not played a tremendous amount of him recently, but I'm a big fan of the hero. So, as I adjust my camera, let's get into it. This game, I will say, it's honestly a really rough game not to have stuns, right? Because we do have a silence, but Crystal Maiden, we need to have either a silence or stun on her to prevent her ult. Faceless Void, we need silences and stuns to kill him realistically. Just the silence from Skywrath is not going to be enough. And the silence from Death Prophet is nice, I suppose. Monkey King, we need stuns for him, right? Because he's going to be ulting. We need silences for him also. Silences work, but stuns are generally a little, it's a mixed bag. Venomancer also, we want to stun or silence or kill him somehow before he gets into fight. So there's a lot of stuff that needs CCing, and we're lacking CC a little bit, honestly. It's not really a problem that can be solved by any one 5-position support, but it is a problem that presents itself and needs to be addressed. So that's it. You have to excuse me, I'm recording this quite late this time. Just because, not for any good reason actually, I just procrastinated, I'll be honest. I've been marathoning TV shows in all my free time with the Switcheroo week. So, starting item-wise, these are fine. I generally you wouldn't have enough money to start Blightstone, but starting Blightstone is fine. Like, look at all the minus armor we're gonna have here. He has 4. When he starts double Slipper, Ring of Protection, you don't expect to have only 4 armor after that. The minus armor is really nice from the Blightstone, paired with the physical damage of Poison Touch. It's a nice bit of damage. All right. Unfortunately, we went a little early on that. We are. We need to be careful, of course. Zoning is an art form, right? But we're doing fine so far, right? He's only gotten, 2 creeps worth of XP. These are so cheap that you can just throw them around. That's perfectly fine. I would put my smoke into my inventory just for the sake of it, right? You have 2 open slots, you may as well. Usually what you would do here, though, is you'd have one of you rotate, usually the Skywrath, almost always the Skywrath, and just slap around this mid laner because, that's what you do. You don't want to be splitting XP 3 ways. But we're doing fine so far, right? This Faceless is just having a miserable time. And Skyrath can get the pulls off. I hope she's not doing that, but she should be. The lane is pushing, which is good. You're in a fine position, all things considered. All right, good. I'm happy so far. Happy so far. I mean, he's a little mismanaging the equilibrium, honestly speaking, but overall he's doing fine. His Face Fluid should just be jungling at this point. I think that's what he's clearly going to do now, and then... Oh, maybe not. Excuse me. Jeez, I'm sorry. Alright. I need to, like, take a course that teaches me not to yawn when I'm speaking for minutes at a time. It doesn't happen on the podcast because there's multiple people, right? But it happens on, on these because it's just me speaking for like an hour at a time. Alright. So Fazel's got a little more XP because of that bounty. That's fine. So we're lacking in XP a little bit. Generally, this is actually a good topic of conversation. So generally, you always have to be concerned about overly committing to zoning. Let's see, how should I wrap this up? So zoning is, of course, one of the most important things to do as a support, right? At a very basic level. But the thing about zoning, right, is that by preventing the other person from getting XP, in general, you will also be not getting XP. And of course, you're the support, whereas he's a core. So you need to balance that out, right? So one way to do it is to have two supports that can zone, and then you can pull with one, and then zone with the other, and then switch, and then you both get XP pretty evenly. Another potential avenue to go about getting levels is doing the thing where, let's see, I'm just trying to think and make sure I'm not missing anything. Another good one is just, oh, he's trading with you a little bit. He's getting frustrated, clearly. Okay. Another good one, one of the ones that you'll see most commonly when you have independent safe laners like Lifestealer and Sven, is you'd spend a lot of time zoning, right? You get low level, and then the Sven or the Ursa or the Lifestealer in this case just goes in jungles, and then you take safe lane, and you get all that solo XP. The Faceless Void is approaching his lane much better now. What's happening is, we've kind of mismanaged our equilibrium, so now we're pushing, whether that was through pulls or just mismanagement, whatever. But now, Faceless Void is going to be able to catch up on all that XP, right? This is kind of the tragedy of zoning, is that you can commit a ton of resources to zoning, but then if you mess it up, suddenly that person's going to come back really quickly, right? So in this case, we just kind of messed up our equilibrium, and then he kind of wised up and started hiding these trees here, because Dazzle isn't great at harassing through the trees. Let's see, what else? Now we're good. I mean, it's always easiest to zone at this point, honestly, but the common thing a lot of offlaners are doing nowadays when you're trying to support, they're just going around here. We're doing okay, though. I mean, we're level 3 at 5 minutes. Not terrible. I mean, I assume Jekyll will rotate, and then you'll take some safe lane farm. If nothing else, you can just survive a fight, and then you'll be caught up on XP. The Faceless is super behind. If we go to our offlaner is double the level of the safe lane, or of the enemy, right? They have a level 2. We have a level 4, halfway through, almost 5. And if we look towards game stats, last hits denies, right? Faceless has literally 0, whereas our guy is 23. Right, we have infinitely more last hits on our offlaner than theirs, so this is good. All in all, this is very productive, and this is especially. I mean, this is Jgushi's like a somewhere in the 2Ks player, and this is what this Faceless is doing is kind of a testament to why zoning is effective at low MMRs, is because low MMR offlaners don't know what to do. Right, if you watch. Offlane is one of those positions that changes drastically in execution from MMR to MMR, right? So, to kind of expand on that point, if you have a mid laner if you have a 5k mid laner versus a 7k mid laner, it's not going to change that much in execution, it's just going to change in skill at executing, right? So, the mid laner is just going to be better, right? He's just going to be better, and he's going to do the same things, but better. He's going to farm better. He's going to execute everything. He's going to kill better. He's going to work better with rotations. He's going to survive more rotations, stuff like that. Whereas offlaners, you'll often see offlaners at high MMRs do nearly completely different things. Just from at all levels. Like you'll see an offlaner at a high Mamar, he'll go farm the jungle, he'll make really good use of shrines, he'll go gank a lane, stuff like this. Whereas at lower Mamars, like you zone this guy and he just has no clue what to do, right? Like he's just confused. He literally stood here for like 30 seconds just doing absolutely nothing. So that was good. All right, we're getting some more pulls going. We're level 4 at 7 minutes. This is good. Generally, my markers as a safe lane support is, or even a roaming support, but to a lesser extent. Roaming supports vary a bit more. A good benchmark is to. Good job, Hada, by the way. This is good rotation. Although she's only level 2, right? She's suffering a little because she's rotating so much. But a good benchmark is if you're level 6 at 10 minutes, that's good. Right, that's like average good, I'd say. If you have like a really stellar game, you can get 6 minutes by like, or level 6 by like 7 or 8 minutes sometimes. If you like win a couple fights, or get solo XP for some reason, stuff like that. But if you're level 6 by 10 minutes, that's good. And if you're not level 6 and it's 12 minutes, then you got problems. All right, that's probably my benchmark I would use. All right, uno momento. Okay. I am not going to be distracted by somebody messaging me about K-pop. I really want to be, but I will not be because I value Jgushi. Oh god, Flub's going to die here. Oh no, he's not. You have a duel. Wow, an 8-minute first blood. That's Alright, that was really close. That was really close. God bless Legion Commander. Alright. So Jekyll's fine. Let's look at last hits. I mean, we're not really casting these guys. All right, 51 at 8. That's great. That's good. And 43 on both of these guys. That's good. That's stellar. I mean, especially the offlane. That's really good. And for mid, that's like average strong. Like really, really good. So your game is just going well. Really, this is just This is an execution game, right? So you guys are just executing on a higher level than the opponents. When you're doing something like this, you want to kill the Satyr Tormentor first, because if we look, he has the Unholy Aura. And if you leave it for too long, he's just going to heal everybody up. So that's something, when you're doing these pulls, really pay attention to. Because he will heal a ton of damage that you obviously don't want him to heal. Okay. The Blightstone also makes these pulls a lot easier to get done. Alright. Okay. Alright, so let's talk about item paths. So Dazzle, I would say, has a few item paths to go. Personally, I'm not a Medallion fan. I'll be perfectly honest. I just don't buy and value Medallion as highly as I probably should, honestly speaking. And like the item is very good. I would never dispute that, but I feel I don't use it as effectively as possible. But Dazzle, one of the most common builds is just Medallion Mana Boots or Mana Boots Medallion. That's very effective. Another common build that I really like personally is going Mana Boots Urn. The Mana Boots are very core on Dazzle. He's one of these heroes that needs to be spamming and just throwing tons of spells out. So the Mana Boots are integral to his success, right? Where some heroes do more get away more easily. Oh boy, this guy's very dead. Nice. Right. Now what you should do is you should Shallow Grave yourself in TP. Shallow Grave yourself in TP. Good. Okay. Oh, you're not going to TP. And you're dead. So Shallow Grave TP is the like fundamental success factor of a lot of heroes, honestly, but especially I would say Dazzle. So when you think of other heroes like any hero with a Ghost Scepter, right? You know, you Ghost Scepter TP, Glimmer Cape TP. You have lots of things, and Shallow Grave TP is the like fundamental good thing to do on Dazzle. So really look out for that. That was a misplay. You absolutely did not need to die there at all. Okay, alright. Oh, man, this is I'm torn, Jgushi, and Jgushi would understand too, but I can't be a traitor. Okay, again, just many simple things. You have 2 supports here. You guys need to be getting these last hits. We're just kind of walking around. We just walked in a big just walked in a big circle and did nothing. Okay, missed a few last hits between you, 2 of you. Okay, but this game's going fine so far. Skill build, this is a bit greedy, but honestly not that bad. If you are feeling like you can be this aggressive, feel free. But honestly, in the vast majority of games, I would go Shadow Wave max, or like 2-1-2. I think that's a pretty happy medium. But this game, you guys are really dictating. Are you though? That was a nice play. That was a really good way to get that CS. I'll be honest. That was impressive. Actually, I don't want to say this is good. I feel like this is such a. There are very few games where this is good. Like you can make excuses for it, and honestly, it's not that bad right now. But I will say, 9 out of 10 games, maybe 19 out of 20 games, you want to max Shadow Wave first. Or if you do, like, so I value Poison Touch a little higher than a lot of people, I'd say. And I would go like 2-1-2 if I'm playing an aggressive Dazzle and rotating and stuff. But I think 3-1-1 is a bit much, if I'll be honest. All right, let's see. Let's go to our Dazzle pal. All right, Magic Wand, that's good. Okay, they had an Underlord who was building a Battle Fury. All right, we're off to the races. Alright. Okay, alright. I was very polite and declined my opportunity to talk about K-pop with a random person. But I will talk about it afterwards, because I'm dedicated. But I'm more dedicated to Jgushi. That's what's important. Alright, so what are our items? Right now, we should be building Mana Boots. We're pretty close to them. We dropped off for the Wand. This is a good Wand game. I mean, every game is a good Wand game, if that makes sense. But some games are better Wand games, if we're gonna be perfectly honest. Man, this is such a mess of an Underlord build that my head hurts. Okay, we've left Jekyll alone for a while. Realistically, like, he should absolutely not die in this matchup, but what the heck is this guy doing? Okay, so Faceless has Chrono. Of course, Dazzle's one of these great heroes at dealing with heroes that are chronoed. Because you can just have somebody chronoed. Oh boy, that's unfortunate. He's attacking the wrong person. Oh, never mind, actually, it'll work out. Wow, that's rough. The Monkey King plus Faceless Void is actually just too good. If we're being real here. Okay, LC has Blink now. That was rough. That was just a nice play by Faceless. I would say in a lot of situations, if you know they're going to aggress on you, it's nice to have a... Oh, no. Nice. It's nice to have a ward here. I actually really like a ward, like kind of where Faceless was just standing right in this box. But I mean, they kind of just styled on you guys, I'll be honest. I'm not too concerned about that. Okay. All right. Yeah, okay, let's get back to this, though. I like Dazzle against Faceless Void because you can, when Faceless Void chronos, everybody's grouped up right in that circle, and then what you can do is you can put a Weave in that circle, and you'll effectively get you'll definitely get the Faceless debuffed. You'll get a lot of other people debuffed. Okay, nice, we'll throw one on him. Death Prophet plus Dazzle is actually quite nice. Okay. We're getting a little close, a little far up. We don't need to. This is way too early. But, you know, I'm not going to criticize too much, but that was a bit early, right? So Dazzle falls under that category of heroes that is an incredible... what's it called? Dazzle's not hard to play, but he's definitely one of those heroes that if you watch a really good Dazzle player, you notice a good deal of nuance. And one of the big things one of the marked differences between really good Dazzles and average Dazzles and bad Dazzles is Shallow Grave usage. So that was not great. That was not a bad Shallow Grave usage, but you could have gotten more out of it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But we're doing fine so far. We are in Mana Boots territory. This would be oh boy, okay, we're just dying here. Oh, we're dead. If we don't die here, this is a ridiculous excuse for a game. Alright. Okay. Magic Wand. It didn't work. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you kind of just walk through there. In a way, obviously it worked out, right? It was a 4 for 2. But in another way, I feel like you probably shouldn't have run through there. Just gonna go out on a limb and say that one. Obviously, it it definitely baited them in here. But I would say in virtually any other game, you would have just gotten CC'd and murdered. I doubt, like, well, here's how I would say. It's one of those plays that should not have worked, but worked anyway. And so it's just kind of like, you know. It works well maybe 1 in 5 times. So that was a bit dangerous. But, you know, whatever. Live on the edge, as they say. Okay. Alright, where are we? Okay, so we have our Mana Boots. Mana Boots, Wand, Blightstone. This is a good core set of items for any support. Let's see, where are our wards? We have a ward here, a ward there. These wards are fine. I like these wards. I mean, I'd be a little... these wards are fine. I'm not too worried about it. It's hard to critique warding because viewing a replay does not let me see how many wards are on cooldown or not on cooldown, which can be inconvenient. Oh, wow, you're not even in that circle. That's weird. Oh, he's got his Battle Fury. Watch out, boys. Okay, so this guy should just die here. Jekyll is not being... He's not committed. Okay, let's see. Where are we? I don't even care about this fight right now. Don't even care. They got Courier. LC died, but whatever. Okay, we're not that person. Dazzle. Okay, so we could have TP'd to help that, but honestly, your teammates were just getting picked off, so, you know, whatever. Monkey Zenny's Echo brought out, I assume? Yeah. This hero in his stupid 300 range. Gee. Okay, so where are we? Okay, we picked up a ward. That's good. We picked up a TP scroll. Okay, alright. Oh my gosh. This is like the worst possible fight imaginable. Okay, alright. Yeah, and we're super dead. Alright. This is just a classic fight where they got a really good chrono and we had a really bad everything else. Alright. Oh my god, Jekyll, no. Wow, that was actually a sick dodge. Oh my god. Venomancer MVP. He could have cut this tree and killed him anyway, but he didn't think of that, so now he's dead. Wow. That fight was catastrophic. You guys are going to lose tier 2s for this, one of which to an Underlord with a Battle Fury. That's not good. Again, okay, so as we do in quite literally every replay review, let's talk about how each team wins the game, because that's just something I really want to hammer home, is just how do you guys win the game, how do they win the game, what are our strengths, what are their strengths. So our strengths are in these kind of fights, right, where we run after people, we chase them down, and then we kill them. Ooh, that Yules was questionable. Yeah, that Yules was pretty throwy, I'll be honest. Like, you should not have died, and Noctua should not have died. That was just because Flub Yules that guy for absolutely no good reason. Okay, so your team wins this game in these drawn-out fights where you chase them down, and you have all these slows, you have all these damage over time effects, you have these minus armor things. Like, a good fight for you guys, I'd say, is they don't get a chrono off, like they get a bad chrono, or you kill the guy with chrono, or it's a pick-off, or they just whiff it, and then you kill Veno super fast. Like, okay, so let's actually talk about this. A good fight for you guys, barring them just being stupid and like walking one-on-one, on a 5 versus 5 fight, a perfect time would be either LC duels, either Venomancer or Faceless Void, and you kill them. Ideally Faceless Void, but Venomancer is also a very good candidate for just getting Blink dueled, or Shadowblade dueled, or, you know, whatever. Because that's your only real lockdown, right? We talk about this. We're really lacking lockdown outside of Duel and Silence from Skywrath Mage. So you do that, you get the kill, and then you kind of slowly but surely kill the rest of them, and you run them down. A bad fight is basically they get any of their team fight off. They get a Chrono off, that's good. They get a Wukong's Command off, that's good. They get a really good Venom ult, you know, stuff like that. Alright, and that's about it. Oh my god. He's just walked through this, but that's fine. Will Jekyll get him? Alright, Flub. He's not using Crypt Swarm. I don't want to be mean to Flub. Use Crypt Swarm. I'm gonna be mean to Flub. This is. He has full mana. Use your freaking abilities, man. Okay, all right. God. My heart and soul want to be nice to Flub. Want to be nice to Flub, but my Dota mind does not. Okay. Okay. Dazzle. Okay, so what are you going to go next? I mean, this could be a good Greaves game, honestly. I don't think we're farming well enough to like get Greaves at a reasonably good time, to be perfectly honest. But Greaves would be very competitive build. Oh, this is not good. Actually, no, that was good. Okay, so we use Weave. We're healing now. Okay, easily duel. All right, and they're just massacred. This is perfect. This is a great fight so far. Okay, this guy's super dead because his build sucks. And we're doing great. We're doing great. All right, that was perfect. I'm very happy with that. So yeah, this would be a good Greaves game if our farm was a little better. It's still a good Greaves game now. If you guys push down this tower and this tower and get, let's say, 1 or 2 kills in the way, you could probably have a mech by the end of that, realistically speaking. Like, nearly a mech, you know. You could have everything except for the recipe, let's say. At the very least, of course. But you could have, like, you know, a good deal of it. Okay, this is a little bit much, my friend. But that was good. Now we want to parlay that into a couple towers. We want to just be spamming at the back. It's nice to weave just for vision into here. Oh, nice. Dude, AG is killing it in this game. Oh, man, you guys are going to have a hard time. You should live, though. Let's watch. Okay, so we have Magic Wand up. Excuse me. These people are running from you. They should not be running from you. Okay, they're fine, though. We have it was just Venom ult, so it can't actually kill people. But that'll deter your push. That's fine. All right, so we have a lot of money now. We could, excuse me, we could finish the medallion. Alternatively, we could do like what I'm saying and go in for the mech. Generally, I would say my marker for mech is that even on a support, if you're getting mech after 30 minutes, it's bad. But if you have mech before 30 minutes, you know, it's acceptable. And if you have it before 20 minutes, you're really, really good. Like, that is the dream. Like, if you have a mech around 10 to 22 minutes on a support, you are doing crazy good. We're going to go in for Pipe, which I think is good too. It's a nice little alternative. I still would kind of prefer the mech, to be honest. Just because then you can have Greaves, and you can have all the armor from Greaves. So if we look towards Greaves, the big thing about Greaves, take that off, is that, okay, so obviously we think of Greaves and we think of, okay, well it heals and gives mana, whatever, that's not important. Passive, Guardian Aura, provides nearby allies with 4 HP regeneration and 2 bonus armor. If an allied hero's health falls below 20%, there's even 15 health regeneration and 15 armor. Right, so that means when this, and that goes off automatically. So it's really good against Faceless, basically. That's what I'm trying to get at, right? So Faceless is going to chrono you, and then they're going to be trying to kill you. Monkey King is also going to be trying to kill whoever. And then, you know, he gets them low, and suddenly they have 15 extra armor and 15 health regen. So that makes a big difference. That's one of the big things why Greaves are such a value pickup for the extra 1,700 gold for the recipe. But Pipe is also necessary in this game. I think in an ideal world, our itemization on Dazzle this game would be something to the effect of mech slash Greaves. And then Pipe last. Okay, we're going over this. Let's see, who are we going to? Shallow Grave, Jackal. Not, oh, so close yet so far. Alright, we have our Magic Wand. We've had our Magic Wand full for a long time. We need to be using it. Okay, we Shallow Grave ourselves, that's fine. Okay, so we lost one, they lost one. That's a fair trade. Okay, we're getting a little far up, but that's okay. Alright, we need to TP right away. Oh my god, what a close duel. Okay, you wouldn't have got that duel if you didn't kill him, so. Again, people just, this team is just not using their wands, I'll be perfectly honest. I'm kind of ashamed. Okay, but that was a good fight. That was a good fight. I mean, it's because you killed the what's called Monkey King early, and then the chrono wasn't great. If there even was one. Okay. Okay. So we'll have a reasonably timed pipe, though. I don't want to rain on your parade. The pipe is a good pick. The pipe is definitely a good pick. It's just I'm more of a fan of, like, in the early game, mech just provides a little more than a pipe, and it's cheaper, to put it simply. But in the late game, pipe is huge. That's that. I mean, it's kind of hard to compare them, right? Because one is damage mitigation, like the pipe prevents damage, whereas the mech deals with damage that has already been dealt, if that makes sense. So, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of nitpicking, but I'm kind of in the pipe camp. Or I'm in the pipe late game mech early camp. Right? It's kind of like, to use an example, that's not a good example. We're not going to talk about it anymore. Your itemization's fine. I think the medallion would have been nice this game. I like the idea of medallion plus LC, but you didn't end up going in for it, and honestly, I'm fine with that. I think some people would nitpick that, but maybe just because I'm biased, because I don't build medallion a lot. But I think this is perfectly fine. Okay, we're going on a warding mission. That's fine. This is good. We're staying far back. This is ideal positioning. And we're going to get this easy tier 2 tower. Fluff has an Octarine core. No Bloodstone, but that's fine. Okay, let's see how this goes. Let's watch. Alright, you're TPing mid to deal with this Veno. He's getting some chip damage, but that's okay. Veno didn't go Midas. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate for him. And he can go with the XP gain talent. That is an oversight. I feel like he really needs that XP gain talent. Okay. So we all kind of left. Honestly, we could have pressured this more and finished the tower. Instead, they're going to get a deny. It's not a huge deal, I'll be honest, but it is, you know, you may as well get it, right? Like, you put in all that effort. Okay. Alright, Dazzle, where you at? Alright, we need to also be... We need to be watching that we're actually using Hood. Very common thing to just not use Hood. I do it myself. Honestly, I forget about it. So. Okay, good. We're pulling creeps aggro off the tower. Okay, Veno has Ags. That's scary. Man, Flub is just out in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so this fight went horribly, and then you have a buyback Death Prophet who has no ult now because she ulted when she had no HP. This is terrible. Not by any, like, I guess we could go back a little bit and let's talk about what you did in this fight. Okay, so fight starts because Flub gets cut out because he's on low ground for no reason. Proud would have some choice words for that. What do we do in this fight? Okay, we're staying super far back. That's good. We throw out that. Got the weave. Okay, so things are good, honestly. This is good positioning so far. Okay. That's kind of unnecessary. So our only flaw was going in afterwards. I think this really comes down to just knowing when a fight is lost and saying, okay, fight's done, leave. Like, that fight's lost, you did nothing except die at that end part. Like, you played the entire bulk of the fight right, just at that very end, like, you really just did not need to do that. Right, like, I'm sure you noticed that, like, watching that play, is that there's no good reason to go in on that. It's just, you know, you made a bad play. So it's nothing catastrophic, but that is the kind of things we notice when watching a replay. Regardless of your skill, you'll notice Like we're obviously MMR. Everybody will look at that and be like, "Oh, boy, I shouldn't have walked in there." So, but you played the fight right? So I would say that is a judgment error, not a Dazzle error. Like your Dazzle play was proper, but your judgment just at that last second, you were like, "Oh, I can get the kill," but really you couldn't. All right. Let's see. All right. I actually like Dazzle a lot as a support because he's quite good at farming. That ward was super obvious. Just so you, I mean, I'm sure you know, but that's something. These obvious wards are really dangerous to do because it's just gonna get dewarded so fast. Like, and yeah, sure, maybe they don't have sentries, but that's super dangerous. Okay. What a stupid hero. What a stupid hero with stupid ult. God. Monkey King, man, what a good garbage. Okay, good ult from Flub. Let's just watch this fight since you're dead. You just got caught out. Like, you guys are on low ground. You're not in a position to be on low ground. I appreciate you getting this ward out, but you could have gotten that out and run away. You didn't need two people there. It just seems like, you know, we put ourselves in a dangerous position for no real gains, if that makes sense, right? It was a low percentage play. Okay, again, Flub is too far up. We're seeing a theme here. Why am I being so mean to Flub? I shouldn't be mean to Flub, but like, man, I just want to be. Just... Oh, okay, alright, so things are not going great. Alright, okay, Dazzle, we're alive now. Yeah, okay, alright, that was good ult. Got ult on 3 enemies, they're sieging. Dazzle ults are particularly useful when enemies are sieging, right? Because the nature of Dazzle is that it improves over time. And the time where enemies are going to be staying and suffering from your ult is when they're sieging, right? They don't commonly siege and they're like diving your tower and then they're like, oh, we're weaved, and then we leave. Right? They're weaved and then they say, okay, hey, we need to keep pushing regardless of the weave, and then you take advantage of the fact that they're dumb and they stayed. So that weave was good. We're just kind of falling behind because if we look towards net worth advantage, I think that's F6, I want to say. Wow, I remember that one. Raiden just has a big net worth advantage, and your team has no stuns, so it's not good. And you got caught out in a bunch of fights in a row. Not you specifically, but your team and / your teammates. Just was positioned poorly, and then you suffered for it. Also, their team was super, super greedy, and they got away with it. Like, they jungled an Underlord and who rushed a Battle Fury. That shouldn't happen. Skyreth is pretty good at dealing with, like, somebody like an Underlord that's jungling. I'm pretty sure he jungled. If not, he just farmed lane, I guess, while, like, Monkey King also farmed lane or something. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, this is just a classic game where we lost because we didn't hit our timings properly, and our team comp is honestly just not good. Our weakness in team comp right here is, A, we have no stuns. B, we have a fighting kind of minus armory team comp with no team fight. So when they would take fights into us, we would only win in very select specific fights where we get to run them down or we take a pick off first or whatever. But in a lot of these fights it was just, hey, they have team fight and we don't, and so we just got CC'd and we just got killed. So this was honestly just not a... You did fine. I think, again, we have to focus more on Jgushi than anything else, because I don't know if you guys felt this was all pick or this was a draft or what, or wasn't a draft, of course, because I just watched it. I think that Dazzle was a fine pick. I don't know, obviously, if you first picked it or what, but the Dazzle was fine. It just, you know, your team was just not good. Which is ironic to say about a Dotp stack, but it happens to the best of us, right? Okay, yeah. Alright, and you got Monkey King. Honestly, there's not too much shame in losing to Monkey King. I mean, there's a bit of shame, right, because he's playing core Monkey King, not a support Monkey King. But, you know, whatever. Okay, let's see, closing thoughts. Okay, so your build was fine. You went a little too far into Poison Touch early. I would say if you were playing, like, a really aggro lane, so, like, if you were playing, like, Visage, Sven, and Dazzle in an aggro try, then I could see going super far in on Poison Touch. But honestly, in general, I would say this is a bit much. You should have gone 2-1-2 at 5 and then got an ult. Or 1-1-3 is more common. The 3-1-1 was a bit much, I think. I would not do that unless you're in a really big situation to get super aggro. The early Blightstone is perfect. Obviously, you can't usually get a Blightstone at level 1, but when you can, go for it. The Mana Boot Time is good. I still would have preferred Mech a little bit. Medallion plus LC would have been nice, I suppose, but it was just a not good game. I'll be honest. Like, it was just a rough game. So hopefully this is productive. I think you did fine though overall. Honestly, I was pleasantly surprised. You had a couple times where you went a little far in. I guess we'll close on a Puppy quote to embrace the memes. But I think Puppy always said with Dazzle was because he would say, "Hey, why don't you skill Poison Touch on Dazzle?" He says, "Poison Touch makes you do stupid things." I'm paraphrasing, of course. But he would always say something to the effect of, if I have Poison Touch, I'm going to say, I want to use Poison Touch, and then I'm going to walk into danger and then get killed, because I'm playing Dazzle and I'm squishy. And you can apply this with a lot of heroes, actually, that are squishy supports. And so you'd say, if I don't have Poison Touch, then I always stay safe, and I'm always helpful, and I'm not wasting mana, I'm not putting myself in a dangerous position. So we had a few times like that fight at Rack's bottom, where we went up to get a Poison Touch out, and we really just didn't need to, right? It didn't do anything except endanger us. So that's about that. Thanks for your support, Jgushi. Of course, I don't even need to say this about Jgushi, dude. Everybody knows Jgushi's the bomb. So thanks for watching. Hopefully we learned something, and goodbye.